Welcome. This is the God All the Time channel. Here we share biblical stories, reflections on God, Jesus, and spirituality, offering insights for a deeper faith journey. And don't forget, if you enjoy this video, give your thumbs up, subscribe, and share this link. Sometimes we wonder, will things ever get better? Will the pain pass, the burden lift, the silence end? In those moments, it's easy to feel forgotten, stuck in a place of doubt or despair. But the Word of God assures us that He is not finished with us. What you're facing today is not where your story ends. God has a tomorrow prepared for you, and it is filled with purpose, restoration, and peace. Throughout the Bible, we find story after story of people whose lives were radically transformed, not because of their own strength, but because God stepped into their situation and changed everything. Take Joseph, for example. He was thrown into a pit by his own brothers, sold into slavery, wrongfully imprisoned, all before God raised him to power in Egypt. He went from forgotten to favored. And in the end, Joseph understood the truth. What others meant for evil, God used for good. That is the power of God's tomorrow. God doesn't always change our situation immediately, but He is always working behind the scenes, shaping, pruning, preparing. What may feel like delay is often divine timing. What feels like a detour may be the very road leading to your purpose. Look at Moses. He spent 40 years in the wilderness tending sheep. To the world, that may have looked like wasted time. But God was preparing him to lead a nation, to speak with boldness, and to walk in faith. Moses didn't see it at the time, but God did, and God sees you right now. Maybe your heart is heavy with questions. Maybe you feel stuck, like nothing is moving forward. But just as the dawn follows the night, God's promises are sure, and His light is coming. In the Psalms, David wrote, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." This is not just poetic comfort, it's divine truth. Even in your most fragile moments, God is near. He knows your thoughts. He hears the prayers you've whispered through tears. He understands the longings you can't even express. And He is already preparing what comes next. The disciples once found themselves in a boat, caught in a violent storm. Jesus was with them, but He was asleep. They panicked, afraid the waves would drown them. But Jesus rose, stretched out His hand, and spoke, "Peace, be still." And the storm obeyed. You might feel like your life is caught in that storm right now. But hear this, Jesus has not left your side. He may be quiet for a moment, but He is in control. At the right time, He will speak peace over your situation, and the winds will calm. In the book of Ruth, we see a story of quiet faithfulness that leads to overwhelming blessing. Ruth had lost everything, her husband, her home, her security. Yet she chose to stay faithful. She followed her mother-in-law, Naomi, to a land she didn't know, trusting in a God she was just beginning to understand. God honored her faith. She found favor, provision, and ultimately became part of the family line of Jesus Christ Himself. From grief to glory, her story reminds us that God doesn't overlook faithfulness, even in obscurity. Sometimes we think tomorrow will only be better if everything around us changes. But God often starts with our hearts. He renews us from the inside out. Jesus said, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." He invites you to lay your burdens down, not just so He can carry them, but so He can replace them with peace. That peace doesn't depend on perfect circumstances. It comes from knowing that God holds your future, and His love for you is unshakable. Think about Hannah, who longed for a child. Year after year she prayed. She wept. She waited. But she never gave up. And in due time, God answered her cry. He gave her Samuel, a child who would become a prophet and a blessing to Israel. There is power in persistent faith. You may not see the answer yet. You may not feel the shift. But God is working in silence, in the background, in ways you cannot see. Your tomorrow is being shaped even now. Let's not forget Job. He lost everything, his family, his health, his wealth. Even his friends questioned his faith. But Job clung to God. And in the end, the Lord restored him, not just a little, but abundantly. His latter days were greater than the former. God is a restorer, a rebuilder. a healer, a redeemer. He promises to give beauty for ashes, joy for mourning, a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. Maybe today you're carrying disappointment. You tried and it didn't work out. You hoped and it didn't happen. You prayed and the answer didn't come, at least not the way you expected. Friend, God is not done. Sometimes He allows doors to close, not to punish you, but to redirect you to something better. Sometimes He says wait, because He's growing your roots deeper, so you can carry the blessing when it arrives. Isaiah reminds us that those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength. They will rise on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. Waiting isn't passive. It's active trust. It's believing that God's timeline is better than ours. Even Jesus, in His most human moment in the Garden of Gethsemane, prayed with anger, asking if the cup of suffering could pass from Him. But then He surrendered. Not my will, but yours be done. And through that surrender came salvation for all of us. God brings purpose from pain, glory from grief, hope from hopelessness. The enemy wants you to believe that things will never get better, that your mistakes define you, that your past disqualifies you. But the cross says otherwise. The cross says you are forgiven, redeemed, and made new. Each new day is a gift, a blank page, and God is the author who writes with mercy and grace. Maybe you're battling anxiety, or loneliness, or fear about the future. Give it to Him. God cares for you. He is not far off. He is not silent. He is working. Jesus said, "In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world." This means your troubles are real, but they are not final. Jesus has the final word, and His word brings life. Think of the woman with the issue of blood. 12 years of suffering, 12 years of rejection, but one touch of Jesus' garment, and everything changed. Just one moment with Jesus can rewrite your tomorrow. And even if your circumstances don't shift immediately, your soul can find rest. Your heart can be at peace. Because God is faithful. He was faithful to Abraham, who waited for a son. He was faithful to Esther, who risked her life to save her people. He was faithful to Daniel in the lion's den, to Paul and Silas in prison, to the thief on the cross, who found paradise in his final breath. He is faithful to you too. So, how will God make your tomorrow better? He will renew your mind. He will heal what was broken. He will turn your mourning into dancing. He will take your story and use it to help others. He will go before you, making a way where there seems to be no way. He will plant seeds today that will bloom in your next season. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. The same God who parted the sea, who calmed the storm, who rolled away the stone, He is working in your life right now. Your best days are not behind you. They are ahead in God's hands. So breathe, rest, trust, walk with Him, one step at a time, because tomorrow, with God, is always filled with possibility. Thank you for joining us on this journey of faith. Remember, God's love is always with you, guiding and strengthening you. Don't forget to give your thumbs up, subscribe, and spread the word. Tell your family and friends about our channel. Until next time, may you walk in the assurance of His endless love.